All right, the first thing that we're gonna do, and I believe that we'll probably get done with our notes pretty quick today, and then you'll be done and you'll have some time to yourself, but we've got to get started on the notes. There's this box. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to name each one of these operations. So the first operation, it's just addition. And then the next operation, we've got subtraction. Multiplication. Sure, no problem. Zion and Joseph, you also have them. And then the last one is division. Y'all have notes. And so again, this is like when we're done with our notes today, y'all can go over them. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to jot down words that mean that. So the next section that we have, it's taking words or something that's verbal and changing it to a math sentence. We really struggle with that. So we're going to write down some words or phrases that mean certain math symbols. So addition, if you have addition, there's some words that can indicate that you're going to do addition. You might see something like more than. I don't. I don't think anything is even high right now. Nothing can satisfy you, girl. The weather is not good for you. The temperature is not good for you. She's high maintenance over there. Probably not. I think it's mental. This poor girl. This poor girl. No, I don't think Tylenol will help. So we could also see the word sum, and sum is the result of adding things together. So you might see sum, S-U-M. For subtraction, can somebody please pause their music because I hear it. It's making me crazy. For subtraction, you might see difference. You might see less than. For multiplication, the result of multiplying is a product. Another word that might indicate multiply is if you see times something else. And for division, other than the word divide, the result of division is a quotient. Can somebody please turn down their music? It is making me crazy. If you're sitting next to somebody and you can hear their music, point at them and tell them to turn their music down because I hear it. And I'm pretty sure it's you.
My thing is halfway down.
I can still hear it. I don't know what to tell you. So if you can't hear it, then just pause it because
Everybody pause the music and see.
just pause it.
See if it's going.
Yeah, because y'all can't hear nothing because y'all all made yourself deaf. Y'all cannot hear anything because y'all have already made yourself deaf.
That's probably somebody gonna lie, get that notification on my phone talking about.
It's true. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these math sentences and we're going to write them out. Sorry, we're going to take these sentences and we're going to write them as math sentences. Can anybody raise their hand and say, I'm really amazing at these? Give me 100 of them because I'm awesome. That guy. Okay, the rest of us, not so much. So we're going to practice and we're going to get better. One thing that you can do is you can go through and anytime you see words that you think you know, just jot down what that symbol is. So when I read question number 1, the quotient of a number and 6, and we're not solving. So go ahead and give yourself a note. You're not solving anything. We're just writing stuff down. Okay, we're just translating it into a math sentence. So when we see quotient, what's quotient mean? Division. So I'm going to give myself a little note. That means division. A number. Yeah, we could call it X. We could call it N. We could call it whatever. A number. So we've got a quotient. That means we're dividing. And we have two things. We have a number and we have 6. So we're going to put the thing that's written first on top. So a number, N, and then 6. That's it. That's it. You're not solving anything. Question 2, it says T more than 9. You have to be careful, and it's not as important when you're doing addition, but it certainly is when you're doing subtraction. But the only way that you can have more than something is that you had to have something first. So you have something, and then more than is going to be plus. So something, and you're going to have more than 9. So T more than something means that it means to be plus T at the end, and you're starting with 9. That says T more than 9. And that's it. We're not solving anything. Because it's addition, it is correct, but I want you to be able to read it the way that it says. This says T more than 9. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I want to see if you can finish this section. If you can't, that's okay. You're going to have some time to come back to it, but I'm going to give you 3 minutes right now to get as far as you can.
Yes, and the whole bag. The first section I'll do for the product of prime and the number. What's a product? Five times eight.
That's all I know.
Why did you say that? They ain't that all. What's 11? What's 11? 11. Okay, so 11 times. But it's twice 11. Everybody know that. So can we flip the two? Yeah.
You mean like,
So is this a last time?
on the next section? So on the next section is solving. So we're gonna just keep doing fractions until you've been desensitized to where they don't give you anxiety when you see them, when you automatically don't go, I don't know that problem. Okay, fractions are gonna come. They're gonna be on the TSI test. We're gonna have to do them. So these are just solving with fractions. So when you solve with fractions, and we did this last class, when you solve with fractions, the opposite or the inverse of dividing is multiplying. So when you see a fraction, don't be scared, because to undo a fraction is just multiply. But to do them, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do 1 and 4 and 7 with you, and you can do the others. So as we go through here, the first thing that we have to do is always addition, subtraction first. So the first thing that I have to do is take care of this +2. So I have to subtract 2. So I have 5 minus 2 is 3. And then to get rid of divide by 3, I need to take it over. Good job. I will multiply by 3. So I get x is equal to 3 times 3. What is that? 9. For question 4, if I am subtracting 4, then I need to bring it over and I need to add 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. I just have one last step. The inverse of dividing by 4 would be multiplying by 4. So I get x is equal to 4 times 8. 32. Question 7. Before I can get started, I need to combine like terms. So I need to put 2 in and 5 in together. If I have 2 and then I add 5, how many do I have? Very good. I just have one last step. If I'm multiplying by 7, then I need to divide by 7. So I have a negative divided by a positive, so it will be a negative. And 35 divided by 7, yes, is 5. So you have 6 more to do. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to look at this section. Y'all can, y'all don't have to be quiet. You can talk. You don't have to listen to her because she bossy.
Yeah, it's affecting the five, but it used to affect from the line exit and then the two minutes. Why not the five? Because I don't know.
Yeah, this probably has to be this one, that one.
I don't think it's affecting because it has to.
Once you finish your section, look around and see if somebody else has. Just check and make sure you guys got the same answers.
No, you added.
Yes. It's 4.5.
Oh, because it doesn't. It doesn't.
What?
It doesn't, you can't. You simplify. Yeah. Mrs. that right?
What?
Number 2 is equals 25/9.
Yes. Mhm. Very good.
No, it's not.
I did plus 5.
I was on number 5.
No, minus 5. It's minus 5. I'm on 5.
I'm on 3. And you're gonna do what?
Plus 5. I mean minus 5. Minus 5.
No, I want you to do plus 5.
I'm
You gotta
talking about
take-
my number 5. I'm doing minus 5 instead of plus 5. So it's already.
I was gonna do plus 4. That's
I did plus
five.
because
the
Say that one more time.
So you gotta take, like, you gotta have.
Yeah,
fraction,
it's
like,
1/3.
So you gotta.
Wait, you're talking about number 3 or number 5?
Number
5.
Oh,
So y'all did, y'all did minus 5.
Yeah.
Oh, so I write it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, because if you do plus 5 minus 5, that's equal.
No, it's -9.
So it's negative 1.
No, it's not. If I
do
just
a
typed
negative
it
minus.
in.
Negative 4 plus 5.
Five.
It's plus 5.
Oh, it's minus 5. No, it's not plus, it's minus.
Oh,
Wait, so is it like this?
minus 9 both sides.
Oh, it's -9.
Oh, yeah.
Three is negative
So x
Right.
over 10 equals negative 9.
No, it's.
It's positive 9.
And then you times it.
Oh,
Yeah. And 5, did you get 2?
Oh,
and 5. Or 5.
You got negative 9. It's
Negative
negative 9,
9.
right?
Negative 90. The whole answer is negative 9.
Because you gotta do 9 times 10.
Yeah. Negative 9 times.
That's why I
Wait,
just
somebody
want
confused me. Yeah, because where y'all?
Number 2 is
Wait,
25
Wait, did
minus.
you
It's
multiply?
fine. Is the
25
answer number
nine.
5 negative 9?
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
No, that was it.
She just trying to make them look bad.
I'm talking myself with that.
Bro,
No, I said good job and you were like, that wasn't me. So I was just saying like, you were trying to ask to prove them wrong. Like, see, she said it
No,
ain't
I
that.
was just trying to make sure that was right.
Number 5, 90 is right.
Negative 90. That's correct.
I don't think no Jen saw that.
Have you seen like?
Out for that?
Huge.
Shit sounds expensive.
Super expensive.
So go ahead and finish up whichever one that you were working on. We're going to move on to the next section. And you'll have time to come back to it, I promise. While you finish up whatever problem it is that you were working on, we're gonna go ahead and do some eye yoga while she complains about us doing eye yoga. And we're gonna look up, down, we're gonna look left, right. If you don't wanna do that, take some deep breaths, close your eyes. That's a good reset too. And so all we're doing is giving ourselves a mental break. Yeah. Make sure you take your ID and the pass. Yeah. No, it's on the back one. That's from last year.
Oh my God, my eyes feel so weird. I feel like a new man. Talk about eye yoga, bro. That actually works.
It's just.
Not for real.
Sometimes it makes my eyes feel like they hurt. And it makes me think, well, I must have just stretched them. It's like when you stretch, you hurt. If you do nothing else, take a deep breath. It's good for you. Ah. Okie dokie. Moving on. So on the back, we're going to do some more multiplying fractions. So remember, when you multiply fractions, you don't have to have a common denominator, and you just multiply straight across. But what will help you is if you go ahead and reduce before you go. So if you reduce first, it'll make it a little easier for you. So if you reduce first, it will make it a little bit easier.
The bottom one doesn't have to be the same.
No, not when you're multiplying. So we did this last class, so this is just review. First thing that I noticed is that I have a negative times a negative. So I know that that will change to positive. So I can go ahead and make sure that it's going to be a positive. And then I can look and if I can cancel anything out. So when you can cancel within one fraction if it reduces. And you can cancel diagonally or simplifying. So I noticed that 3 and 9, those can reduce. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Good job. Yep, it sure can. So that would be 1, and then the 4 would go on the top. And then sometimes, even once you reduce like that, you can double check to see if you can reduce again. I don't think you can, so we can multiply straight across. So I get 1 times 4. And then 1 times 3. That's it. So I'm going to go down again and I'll do 13 and I'll do 16 with you. So when we look at 13, it's a negative times a positive. So my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to go ahead and jot that down that it's going to be a negative because I don't want to forget that. You sure can. Good job. Yes, we can definitely simplify. 7 goes into 35 5 times. 2 goes into 12. It sure does. Then we multiply straight across again. 5 times 1 is 5, and 6 times 1 is 6. Done and done. I'm going to do 16. For 16, as we multiply across, I notice that it's a negative times a positive again. So I'm going to go ahead and get my negative out there so that I don't forget it. And then I'm going to check to see if things simplify. The only thing different with 16, 17, 18 is that they have the variables in there. So as I go through, I'm going to have to look at the number parts and I have to look at the variable part. I do see that 5 and 15 can reduce. That would be 1 and then a 5. And then I also see some variables. So I see a W, but there's no W there or there, so I can't do anything with those. With the X's, I see an X here and I see X squared there. So definitely one of those can cancel out or reduce.
You said 5 and 5. This 5 and 1. I mean 1.
you. Good job. Sure is. Right here, it should be not a 5. Thank you. Should be a 3. I'm glad somebody's watching out for me. So one of these is going to cancel. So I'm left with just a 3x up there and a 1w down here. So I can multiply straight across now because nothing else can reduce. On the top, I have a 3x times 1 or a 3x. And on the bottom, I have 4 times 1 or 4. And then I have w times w. So that's w squared. So when you multiply variables, you add the exponents together. -3/2. Good job. So for this section, I will give you 5 minutes. Well, no, just this section. We haven't talked about 19, 20, 21. So 5 minutes to see how far you can get on this section. You might be able to finish it. Nobody likes fractions.
Is number 11 -1/7?
Hmm?
No, you're right, 2. Put 2 by 14, right?
No, it would be 4. Wait, what? No, 2 can go into 8 and 14. So we'll put 4 by 8.
This is stressing me. Who's your boyfriend? Who's your boyfriend? It's yours next year.
Oh, no.
All right. So it'll be one, what, Jay? Please, I want you to say it. Stop being all that voting shit.
11, I got 8.
It's not good.
My number is 5.
You said what? I'm going to talk, yeah. What happened in the right space? And I don't hear about like. Because I've been told that when I hear positive feedback, I don't take it. I'm already. 14, but not. 17. So we doing like that. I know what they say. 8, 4 times 2 is 8. What is it called? Well, that's how you do it. Well, they know it. Watching the
No, I did.
Yes, Jada's gonna come over there this period. Yeah, we talked about that. She's coming today. Yeah, whenever we're done with the worksheet, she knows to come over there.
For number 11, like, you know how she did 1 and 8, and then 4 and 1. Number 14. It's
Wait, okay, why do they want me so bad?
I got a question. For number 11, it'll go.
We're going to do 5.
4 instead of 8. Like if you do an 8 or 14.
4 and 7, yes, yes.
I got 1.
Number 14.
Never mind, Roman, it is 45:30.
Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
So you're gonna reduce it a second time?
I think
You could, yes, yes. If you don't, then it just means you have to reduce at the end, which is what I did. I had to reduce at the end.
For what? Ain't no negative talk about this.
Like you said that last time when you got them wrong. Yeah.
What do you need?
Is that a second row?
Yeah.
17. I'm gonna tell you right now.
This number 11 is -1/7, right? You see, yeah.
Would it be worse?
I think you gotta subtract. Subtract 8 minus 1.
Girl, what?
I mean, not 8 minus
Number
1.
4.
4.
I got -7.
Yeah,
So,
even for at the top, even when at the bottom.
No,
Yeah.
7 at the bottom.
Wait. Okay, then how do we do that?
I don't know.
Two, you know.
You know how you got it.
You're telling me it's -1.
Well, you know.
Right.
Yeah, that's it, then I solved it, right?
Yes.
I did.
What's funny is when I got here, last week,
You're right.
so it's 407 now.
It's
So
4.
you should.
If both of them like, if it's 3y times 1y, is that 3y squared? We
No.
don't want that.
Gotta
I
find
didn't even
it.
do this.
Well, that was the timer, bro. Was it?
Oh, it's not the time to
That was not the damn time.
Attention teachers, please pardon the interruption. You just heard a bell that rang at 8:55 a.m. This is your reminder that your official attendance needs to be taken at this time. You will hear a bell every day during the regular schedule at 11:55 is your reminder. During temporary schedules, you will hear this bell at 11:45. Again, this is your reminder to complete your official attendance. Thank you so much.
8:55.
I think she meant to say 11.
She's slow.
So
So did you?
I think what she's saying is that every day we're gonna start hearing that bell. It's not to be alarmed, it's really just for teachers to recognize that, hey, you need to make sure.
Nah, for real.
I thought we had a lockdown.
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
For 11. I got it. Well, -1%.
How?
Telling you.
I mean, she shook her head.
I got 407. Yeah, I got 407.
Okay, we gonna get for 7 seconds. I got 2 eggs. And 5 white squares.
God, you get a negative?
Okay,
Is it negative?
A positive and a negative.
multiply, that's how it's split up.
Yeah.
Because only under that on this side, it was 2. So I was at a W, right? This X canceled out. So I was at 2, so I can get a 1.
So when you don't have.
You mentioned this, right?
What?
So that's 4 is going negative.
There's no X on the top.
There's no X.
Because the X and the X,
Oh,
they,
doesn't it cancel out? It's not, there's no X.
Just simplify that too.
all right, we just have how many more sections to do? One more section. But before we get to that last section, I need you guys to help me settle a very heated debate that happened in my household a couple days ago. So the debate was, or this is kind of how it happened. Hey, Brendan, do you like ice cream floats? That's my son. This is not me speaking. Not really. I think ice cream's overrated. Well, then what do you want? What is your favorite dessert? Cookie or a brownie? Who likes cookie or brownie over ice cream? I think ice cream's overrated. No, nobody thinks ice cream is overrated. More people like ice cream than cookies or brownies. So here, we're going to settle the score and I'm going to ask you guys, which one? And this isn't like, oh, well, what if it's a nasty brownie? It's like the best cookie or brownie or your favorite ice cream.
You
So
gotta
it's
make
like,
it.
Gotta go to that red side, boy. I don't even like ice cream that much.
so I won't force you guys to stand up, but we are gonna take a vote. So who votes that ice cream is better? By itself, ice cream better.
Wait,
One, two, three.
I can't say that.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
Well, like
then
vanilla?
who votes for either a cookie or a brownie? Y'all my people.
Can you go in the middle?
Well, I like this with that on top,
Yeah.
That's what's really
That's
what's
more reasonable.
but if I had to choose, I really like, a nice Tips Treat cookie. Yes, I will have that. Yes. Yes, that is the way to my heart.
It's not, for number 18, you get -9
Yes,
over 2.
yes, and then it can reduce, the number of parts can reduce.
To 3 WY3 over 2 days.
Yes, got it, girl. So we just have one last section, and on this last section, what do you guys notice about it?
Word
Word problems. Ugh, nobody even likes those. Can we do these what? Well, you read that first one and you tell me if you want to do these by yourself.
How many did she start? Let me figure it out.
Okay, so she's voting that y'all are gonna figure this out. So y'all have 3 word problems to also do, and y'all are just going back through and finishing up any of the ones that you didn't already finish. It's 12 o'clock. We get out of here at 12:35. So I'm gonna say about 25 minutes, you guys should be able to get finished. Okay, so I'm gonna put a timer, 20, they're not meant to be difficult questions.
18,
So for the word problems, you can draw something out. That's what I encourage you guys to do. Draw a picture. Make little circles, divvy things up, whatever you've got to do. Yeah, run next door, see what they want.
Wait. So it's 4 times. It's 4 times.
4 times 2 is 8.
Yeah.
Plus 10, 18.
Equals 8 plus 10 equals 18. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You brought a magazine for $5.
You cannot just put the answer. You've got to put something. Sure.
Oh, wait, let me write this out.
What I did with mine is I just did lines and put, for the first one, I just drew some lines and I put 10 because that was how much she had. And then I put a 2 and a 2 and a 2 and a 2. Yes, that's fine. That is totally okay. Yeah, that's kind of true. It's the life of a mom. I can tell you that none of my kids get a full French fry when I get home with the food. I eat their French fry. Nobody gets a full French fry.
And then your rest is $5 each. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
I bought a magazine for $5 and
For